Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Week 5 college football pregame show. And I'm Mr. Mini Hats. I'm out of the country currently. Sorry, I'm a little late. I know it's Thursday morning, I think, over there in the United States. I'm out of the country. I left the country. Uh, so once I had to I got 86 from this one casino, and I just said the hell with it. Let me just leave the country and focus on football. Leave the country for a couple of months. But I got a problem, so I might have to come back. I thought my VPN was gonna work on YouTube TV. It doesn't work, so I'm gonna have to try another VPN and see if it works. And if it doesn't work, I'm gonna have to cut my trip short and come back because I need to watch the games. I mean, I don't use a model, and so me watching the games, that's my alpha right there. So if I can't see the games, then I'm guessing basically. So I need to see the game. So I'm gonna try this new VPN later on when I finish with this, and hopefully I'll be good for YouTube TV and NFL game day. So let's get right to it. So last week started out 3-0. It was a rough week last week. 7 games, 2, 4, and 1 push. 2 wins, 4 losses, 1 push. Started out 3-0, and I thought, actually not 3-0, 2-0 and 1 push with Indiana. And then we had some tough breaks, some bad variants last week for sure. All the losses could have easily swung the other way. So let's quickly recap what we had last week. So last week we pushed with Indiana minus 17 first half. Line opened up at 16.5, but I missed the boat on that. It was 17, so I'm not going to give you 16.5 when there's no 16.5 available. So we got a push at 17, and we were actually lucky to get that push. They scored 2. They were only up 3. They scored 2 touchdowns at the end, and Charlotte put up a little fight in the first half. But they scored 2 touchdowns at the end in like the last 4 minutes to get the push. So 17, so it landed on 17, so that's a push. We pushed on that one. I saw Christopher, that line went to 17.5, so we got some value on that, but we missed the boat with the 16.5. And I'm not going to give you numbers that don't exist, and if the game pushes, I'm not going to say, I had 16.5 when I clearly gave 17, so I don't play games like that. What you see is what you get. So we pushed on that one. James Madison plus 10.5, the best bet of the day. I mean, they put a 70 burger up on North Carolina. You're getting 10.5 and you win by 70 to 70 to 50 or 70 to 50, I think it was. You're getting 10.5 and you lose by 20. I mean, you're getting 10.5 points and you win by 20. I mean, so that's you win the game outright and you win by 20 after getting 10.5. So whenever those pop up, you damn right I'm going to take credit for them. And so, so early on, so it was that one. And the next game we had was Tulane. They beat Western. I forget who they played. West Kentucky, maybe not West Kentucky. Anyway, they were laying 3. It went to 2.5. I gave out 3 minus 0.5. They won pretty handily, and it was a strength of schedule game, just like it. Lafayette, that's who they played. They just had a better schedule than Lafayette. They're just a better team than Lafayette, and I knew Tulane. They were a little bit better than what their record indicated. They played Oklahoma. They played some tough competition out there. So they got it done. So those were the 3 early games, and right out of the gate with James Madison and Tulane, and we got the push with Indiana. And I was like, wow, what a hell of a start. And then basically we didn't win another game. The other 4 games lost, but they were all very close and some bad variance. So here's a game that's some really bad variance. This is Georgia Tech plus 10.5. I gave out another play. They were plus 8.5. The second half, they were okay. They were up. They were down 3 at the half, and they were plus 5.5 second half. That's what it was. So that made it plus 8.5 on another bet. Basically, I gave that play out second half. So plus 10.5 plus 8.5. Played them close the whole game. 17-17. They went down 24-17. They're going in to score. What exactly? Oh yeah, they were going in to score, and they went for it on 4th down, and they didn't get it, and they got stopped, down 24-17 on 4th down. They end up getting a safety, so they make it 24-19, and they get the ball back. And they're marching down, and I think he threw a pick 6 then. And so anyway, to make a long story short, the game was 5 points at one point, and no, they were, what was it? Yeah, that's what it was. It was 5 points. They were down 5, and they went to kick a field goal. They got a field goal blocked, and the guy ran it back for a touchdown, and that just killed everything. And we still had another chance to cover. They went for it on 4th down again, and they didn't make it on the last drive. So they still could have. They were marching down again, and they still could have scored. So we're getting plus 8.5, plus 10.5, and there's 5 minutes to go in the game, and we're down 5. And so we still got a field goal, even if we missed the field goal. Louisville can come down and kick a field goal, and that makes it, we're down 8, so we're still good on 8.5 and 10.5, but we get a blocked field goal. So that's bad variance. We lose both bets. And that's how you lose a bet like that, with something janky like a field goal block for a touchdown. I mean, I don't know what the guy was kicking. It landed right in the defender's hand, and he had nobody in front of him. He ran it back, and I was like, oh no. And that killed 2 bets. So that was bad variance. Cal, we had Cal money line. They lost at Florida State. He held Florida State to 14 points. I mean, you score 14 points at home, you don't deserve to win a game. And Florida State found a way to win, and we should have won. I thought we were going to win. Cal, they were marching down. They were marching. Last possession of the game, they made it all the way down to the 20. I think they were on the 15 even, the 20 or the 15, and then the holding penalties and procedure penalties, and they beat themselves. I thought that Mendoza, he was going to go down there and win the game for them, but they beat themselves with the penalties at the end. Like I said, I mean, anytime you're going on the road to play a Power 5 team, and you can say that I held a Power 5 team to 14 points at home, and I'm on the road, I mean, you think you have a 95% chance of winning the game. I mean, if you can do anything, but like I said, they let Florida State off the hook. You know, they should be 0-4, but so we didn't get that one. That was bad variance. Hold on one second. This thing's making my head hurt every time I talk. I just gotta adjust it a little bit. My temple. Jeez. Okay. The next game we had that was bad. So that's 2 games already. Georgia Tech and Cal, 2 games with bad variance. We had New Mexico over 60.5, and the game landed on 59, and forgot who had the ball at the end, but they had a chance to score. They had 35 points at the half, and they couldn't get to 61 we needed. So that was, I mean, you got over 60.5 and the game lands 59. That, you can call that a bad beat. this number even went down. I saw Christopher, I think it was Friday or one of those days. I saw this number go down to 58.5. So some people actually won the over if you got 58.5, but I didn't give out 58.5. I gave out 60.5. So we lost. Game landed on 59. So that could have won. That's another game that could have won. And even Toledo, we had Toledo 2.5. They playing Western Michigan. There was a delay in that game. I guess it was lightning or something. So we could have got a bad beat in that game. They were up 14-3. They were up by 10 or 11. Then there was a delay. I'm thinking it was a lightning delay, some type of delay, and I guess that just knocked them out of that rhythm, man. I mean, Western Kentucky, they started coming back. They started creeping in the third quarter. Then Toledo, they scored again, and Western Kentucky came back and scored again. They took the lead, man, and then they beat them outright. So Toledo, they were up by 11 at one point, and they lost the game. I believe that delay has something to do with it. Maybe it knocked their rhythm off. I don't know. I didn't see the game. I have to go back and look at that game. Maybe that game wasn't available to me. But they lost. So there's another one. So Georgia Tech, bad beat, could have won. I mean, I'm taking these L's. I'm just telling you that there's the thing called variance, and it can go with you or it can go against you. So if these games went my way, obviously I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna be complaining about them. But I'm just telling you, some of these games, they come down to the last possession, bad coaching. A coach make a dumb decision, like play one-on-one defense on the best receiver in the country, or one of the best receivers in the country to lose the game on a 4th and 9, stuff like that. So, like I said, we could have easily won Georgia Tech. We could have easily won Cal. We could have easily won New Mexico over, but we lost them. And we could have won Toledo. But if was a spliff, we'll all be high, right? So I mean, I'm not making excuses. I'm just pointing these things out to you, and that's what makes a good sports bettor. A good bettor is somebody who can overcome bad variance. So despite all of that, that was 2-4-1 last week. So the current record year to date, despite that, pregame. 12-13-1. Okay, nothing. We gotta pick that up. We gotta pick that up. 12-13-1. It's still early. Second halves were 8-4, so that's pretty strong. So that makes us 17-1 overall. And the strong plays are 7-4-1. So 12. To recap, 12-13-1 pregame, 8-4 second half. So that's 20-17-1 overall. And the strong plays are 7-4-1. So 2017, I believe that's around 54%, a little bit north of 54%. So we're still winning. Despite the bad variance, we're still winning. And so we're getting to got a full plate. We're going to open up the playbook this week, and we need some fillers, get the sample size up, because at the end of the year, I don't want somebody to say, well, anybody can go 55-45, well, I'm going to try to give you a 200 sample size, say. Anybody can go 110-90. I dare you say that, You ain't going to be able to say that. Anybody can go 110-90. So we need some fillers and just try to stay. Last week was one of those weeks I thought, not a 7-0, a 6-1 type of week, where to pick you up, because we have been breaking even 4-4, 3-3 the week before, I believe, and so. It's a grind, and you're gonna have a stretch that's gonna bring you over the top. But like I said, despite that, we're still winning. So my temples are hurting bad. this thing here, man. What is this going on? Okay, so let's get started for this week. Okay, so the first game that we got is Eastern Michigan, laying 15. I don't know what this line opened up at. 13, I don't know. I don't care. 15, they're going to beat them by 3 or 4 touchdowns. Kent State, they're already down. It's already a bad program, okay? And you're in your third quarterback. I mean, this guy, I don't know where they got this guy from. Third quarterback on Kent State. I mean, so he more than likely probably played another position. They're going to have to convert this guy to quarterback, and he's going to have to, like I said, you think you got it bad, just look at Kent State. Look at what's going on over there. And what if he gets hurt? Then they might, I don't know what they're going to do. That happened to somebody years ago. I think it was Maryland. They were down to like the 4th quarterback. All of the quarterbacks were hurt, and they had to convert a position player to quarterback, and all he did was hand the ball off. It was real funky. It was just a real funny looking game. They got slaughtered in that game too. So I've seen this kind of stuff before. It doesn't happen often, but you got to have some very bad luck when 2 or 3 of your quarterbacks are hurt in the first couple of weeks. So look for Eastern Michigan to lay the wood on them, -15. Book it. Next game is Stanford and Clemson, over 58, -105 currently at Christopher's. 57.5, it went to 58. Clemson. Clemson's gonna score. It's as simple as that. Okay, they're gonna score, and they open up the playbook, and they're gonna score. Okay, so Clemson is gonna be good for. They're gonna be good for at least 45 points. Okay, 45, and then Stanford should be able to get the rest. It could be an ugly game, a lopsided game, but they're gonna score a lot of points. And Stanford, they put something up, so they should have this total pretty easily. Actually, I don't understand the over 05 for Christopher. Maybe that's some buyback. That's some buyback. I guess. I don't know. Next game is Duke, -2.5 playing North Carolina. That's a strong play. And Duke, they got a little something going. I like that quarterback they got. And they're at home, and it's a little bit of a rivalry game. Not so much like basketball, obviously, but there's a little oomph to it. And everybody, some people going to bet North Carolina, oh, this is overreaction, and they're going to come back after giving up 70, and they're going to win. Well, good luck with that. I don't see them coming back. Maybe not this week. Maybe next week. But it's going to be a high-scoring game, too, but I didn't the over actually might be a better play, but I don't want to touch it. Just give me the 2.5. And that's a strong play, too, from Duke. Next one is a strong play also, and that's SMU -6.5 against Florida State. That number's still good. It opened at 5.5. I mean, that's a dead number. Not really. 5. Nah, yeah, it's a kind of a dead number in football. 5.5. So 5.5 to 6.5. We didn't lose much. We didn't lose much. The closing line value, the peanut gallery, they might not be thrilled with that, taking that number, but we don't. Mr. Mini has, he doesn't listen to the closing line value peanut gallery. So we're taking SMU, and they can score, and they're at home, and they're gonna be up for this game, and they put up 66 last week. I mean they're gonna beat them. They're gonna beat them pretty good too, and that's a strong play. Next play is Kentucky. +17.5. They're playing. I don't know who they're playing. I forgot who they're playing. They're getting 17 and a half. I can go and check, but all right. They got a lot of injuries too, so this. But this is a SEC game. It's one of those games. It's gonna be a lot. They're gonna be up for this game. But hey, they do have a lot of injuries. I did check that out. Kentucky. So just keep that in mind. They got a lot of questionables. But they should be up. This game is going to be a lot closer, I believe. So Kentucky plus 17 and a half. Got Boise State playing Washington State. Take the over 63, and that's a strong play. And Boise's going to score, and Washington's going to score, and they're not going to let up. It's going to be a track meet, okay? And you see what Washington State did last year, and even though Cam Ward left, they got that guy. He can spin it too, and then they can move that ball, and it's gonna be a high scoring game. And I checked the weather. Looks like the weather's good, so they should have no problem getting that 63. And so that's a strong play. So Boise State over 63. Book it. Next game is Sam Houston State. 8.5 +8 playing Texas State. Now they got enough, okay, and they might even beat them outright. They got enough, okay, and I believe it opened at 8.5. It's down to 8, so we didn't miss much. So I got faith in Sam Houston State. They only been in Division I a couple years now. Or is this their first year? I think they were around last year, but very new. But they're getting acclimated, just like James Madison. So Sam Houston plus the 8. Navy minus 3.5 playing UAB, and they just they completely destroyed Memphis last week, and I'm not surprised by that. And I told you that could possibly happen. On that money line ticket, I said these games are a lot closer than what people think, and don't be surprised if Navy beat them, and they did. What surprised me the most about Navy is they're throwing the ball more. Like they're willing to check that ball, and they got they got a strong team, and they should steamroll UAB. Just hope that they're not on a hangover for beating Memphis last week, because that could happen, but I don't think so. I think they're going to steamroll them, keep this going. So Navy minus 3.5, and that's a strong play. North Texas over 68.5. They're playing Tulsa. Either two things are going to happen in North Texas games. Either they're going to score a lot, or they're going to give up a lot, or both. And I actually liked the over last week. I didn't bet it. I didn't have it, obviously. They when they played Wyoming, that 55.5, that was pretty soft, I thought. And I didn't bet it. And they got that pretty easily. I didn't bet it because I was just I was listening to somebody, and they said something, and I let them talk me off of that game, and it went over pretty easily. So I'm not going to pass that total 68.5 for a reason. It's going to be a lot of points in that game, and so I think this is one of them games where both is going to happen. They're going to score a lot, and they're not going to stop nobody. And I checked the weather, double checked that weather. The weather was good, so. North Texas over 68.5. Next game is Fresno +2. Now everybody, UNLV, they're the talk of the country now with the quarterback. This is the first time there's been a money dispute. His agent said that they promised him $100,000. I mean, this is over $100,000. He's gonna sit out the rest of the year. Well, I mean, that's a lot of money. So I'm not, he's not going to the NFL, that quarterback. So 100 G's is 100 G's, and he need that money. So he said, you don't pay, I don't play. So it is what it is. And then another play on the team followed suit, another play on the team. So 2 guys left for NIL issues, and they're still favored. I don't know who the quarterback is for the backup. this guy's just gonna come in and pick up where this guy left off and he gonna win. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know who they're gonna throw out there. I don't understand how they're still a favorite against Fresno, which is a decent ball club. And you like I said, you got the captain of your ship. He just left the team. Another guy left the team. You got all this bad juju in the locker room. I mean, you don't know what you're gonna get from these guys. But this is not a strong pick. This is just it's not a hunch. I hate to bet on a hunch, but it's probably as close to a hunch as you can get. I try to keep my hand out of the cookie jar and don't bet leans. Just bet what you like and bet the strong plays. But leans are kind of putting your hand in the cookie jar. So I mean, I try not to do too many of these. But it works out most of the time because I don't know what I don't like I said I don't know what we're gonna get out of his backup. But I find it very hard to believe that whoever this guy is gonna come in and they got all this bad juju in the locker room and people money's funny. They're messing with people's money. I don't know what's going on, but there's you would think for $100,000 that they would sweep this under the rug or take care of this real quick, but hey, $100,000 is $100,000. So I like Fresno +2. Book it. Next game is a strong play. Louisville +6.5. They got enough to beat Notre Dame outright, and they're gonna be up for this game. And 6.5 is too much. It's gonna be a close game, and Notre Dame they're gonna have to. They got a hell of a receiver for Louisville. They got a hell of a receiver, and they got a guy who can get him the ball. And when you have that, you always have a shot. I mean, so that 6.5 is way too much. Notre Dame should be favored by like 3. I mean, this is a field goal game, and if that, I mean, they might lose the game outright in my eyes. So, like I said, you're going to have to keep up with this Louisville offense. They're going to play tempo, and so they got enough to score with Notre Dame. They're going to have to play defense, and they're going to I don't see this being more than a field goal game if they win at all. So that's Louisville +6.5, and that's a strong play. Next play is Boston College, -7 first half. Playing Western Kentucky, late a touchdown first half. They should be up by 2 scores first half. Next play is Memphis first half on a bounce back after that loss to Navy last week. They're at home, laying 14, -15, laying 14. Juice -115 is what I mean. Laying 14 first half. I like that in the bounce back spot against Middle Tennessee State, and they could be up. This is a good bounce back for them first half. I don't know about the whole game, but they should be up at least 17 to 20, 24 points first half. So next game is another first half bet. Texas -24. And that's a strong play. And I don't care if it's Ewers or Manning. I don't care who's behind the center. They're gonna score and they're gonna do what they do. I mean, if Ewers comes back, how do you bench Mr. Manning? I mean, it's a good problem to have. But like I said, actually, if Ewers comes back, that actually might hurt the team. I mean, he might have a little bit of rust. They might hand the ball off a lot in the first half if he comes back and work him back in. So I want him to stay out. I want Manny. I don't know what is his first name. That's not Coop. That's Cooper's son. That's Arch Manning. That's his name. Yeah, Arch. I believe that's his name. Arch. He's gonna keep improving every week. obviously, and he wants to keep that job, so he's gonna make it very hard for the coach. You come out there and play his ass off, he's gonna make it hard for the coach to bench him, even when Urias comes back. So Texas 24 first half. And the last game is Alabama under 24 first half. Playing Georgia, and it's going to be a grind. And I can see these games from a mile away. They're just the piglet fights, and they're going to be wrestling in that mud and filling each other out first half, handing that ball off. Good defense, and it's going to be a good old SEC piglet fight. It could be a little bit. 24 we got. I don't see more than 20 points in the first half. I mean, could be. Don't be surprised if you see a 6-7 game or a 10-6 or something like that. Don't be surprised if you don't see any touchdowns in the first half. Should be a low-scoring game. So let's quickly recap. Eastern Michigan -15. Stanford over 58, -105. It's what Christopher's dealing, so you can definitely get a better price than that. Duke -2.5, that's a strong play. SMU -6.5, that's a strong play. Kentucky +17.5. Boise over 63, that's a strong play. Sam Houston +8. Navy -3.5. That's a strong play. North Texas over 68.5. Oh my finger is showing. Oops. Okay. Fresno +2. Louisville +6.5. North Texas over 68.5. Louisville's a strong play. Boston College -7 first half. Memphis -14 first half. Texas -24 first half. Alabama under 24 first half. Excuse me. So there's 15 plays for you folks. Open up the playbook a little bit this week. 15 plays, 7 of them are strong plays. So let's go out and get them. And there's your week 5 college football plays. Good luck, everybody.